Okay, so we are moving on to Seoul, and this was our first day there. We got quite tired by this point because we've done quite a lot of travelling, and getting from Tokyo to Seoul wasn't necessarily very easy in the end. So our first kind of port of call was just to go to Seoul station and see what we found from there. And we found this beautiful walkway. It's like bridge over everything. So you're surrounded by these tall buildings, and you've got this beautiful kind of parkway type thing to walk along. And at the end of it, we stumbled upon this, which is a great big market.
자고, 제품자고, 자, all handmade. 자, I'm making hole, and the other side, one more making hole. So now, next, the little by little, stretching, and daddy, the big side. 1 plus 1, 2, and 4, 8. 8 by 2, 16, 32, 64. W64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. Wow, yes, one more time. And 2048, and 4096, 8192, last final. 짜잔, wow, 대박. No sugar, kurang manis. The inside, the mixed natural almond, sesame, and black sesame, and gulong, yes, and xia.
So there you go. We found all kinds of food things, including that. There's just loads there. We were kind of like overwhelmed by it, but it was pretty amazing, like just to stumble upon it and just be in the right place at the right time. And we also found this tteokbokki, I want to say. My pronunciation is going to be terrible. It is rice cakes in like a sticky, spicy sauce, which it was pretty spicy. Like, you were feeling it for quite a while afterwards, but it wasn't kind of over the top. It wasn't too much. They were lovely. You do have to be careful though, because some of them are stewed with meat as well, but this one was just like spicy sauce and the rice cakes. So from here, we're just aimlessly wandering really, because it's being our first day, and we found some really cool things by accident. So first of all, there was the walkway, then there was all of the kind of stalls and everything, and then there was this, which was the Kimchi festival. Now, Leo had seen something about this beforehand. I think it was on an advert on the train or on the metro. And we were like, oh yeah, we'll go and, like, after we've had a wander around today and got the lay of the land, we'll find it tomorrow or something. No, we stumbled upon it that day, and it was pretty cool. There's like this huge area where they just make kimchi. So that queue there is a queue of people who are just going to make kimchi en masse, which is kind of amazing. And they've got demonstrations. So here you've got people making kimchi, just showing you the kind of traditional way of doing it, because you can see they're surrounded by ongi rather than like plastic tubs. And the big open area, they were putting it in polystyrene tubs because it was kind of like a make it and share it kind of situation. And here was an exhibition on 100 different types of kimchi. Because obviously we know it here as just spicy cabbage, but there are so many different types. So this was really, really cool to go and have a look around, because it's kind of given us some inspiration to try some other things. So there were things like coriander kimchi, eggplant, like whole fish. So some things that we wouldn't do, some things that we would. It was just amazing. And then round the corner there was like a little market where you could buy salt and like pickled shrimp and all kinds of things to make kimchi. So we picked up some salt from that little place and then carried on wandering. And it's a beautiful city. It's quite interesting where you get like little bits of nature in there, or you'll get like a brand new building next to something really old style. It's a cool place to explore. And in the end, we ended up stumbling upon this place that we really, really wanted to go to in the first place, which was this vegetarian restaurant. Now, I'd seen this on YouTube with some other people that had gone. I think they have got a couple of branches, because this one is definitely different from the one we saw on YouTube. But this ended up being the place that we kind of went to a lot, because it's in the middle of all of the interesting stuff that we wanted to do. So it's kind of more traditional. You will be sitting on the floor, which I'm fine with. I quite happily sit cross-legged on the floor, but obviously I'm letting you know this just in case your mobility isn't quite up to it. And they have a very traditional menu. They do have like these Western style dishes, which is more like Japanese to me. So it's like hamburger steak with sauce and veggies, or they've got stews, they've got bibimbap, they've got noodle dishes, they've got loads, and it is all 100% vegan, which is fantastic, because when you don't know the language, it is a lot easier just to go to these places and not have to worry about ordering something that you can't eat. So because this was our first trip and our first visit to this place, we went for the bibimbap. And this is the soft tofu bibimbap. So you get all of these sides, and there was a kind of soybean stew to go with it, some soft tofu. It was amazing. It really, really was, which is why we kind of repeatedly ended up going back here. And there you go, have a bit of kimchi, because, you know, we've just been to the kimchi exhibition. It was great. It really, really was. And it's super cheap as well. So one of the things about Seoul was, like, prices tend to vary quite wildly. And this was 10,000 won, which is about £8, I think, about £8. So yeah, it's fantastic. And they also have this famous vegetarians, which apparently includes Jesus. I don't think Jesus was a vegetarian, because you know the whole like loaves and fishes thing, but that's a whole other conversation. And yeah, that was our first day in Seoul. It was fantastic food wise. There is more to come, so don't forget to subscribe and you will find out what else we got up to in Seoul.